Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm doing a video on text functions in Excel. So yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. Here I have another spreadsheet. So in this spreadsheet, it shows that we have a first and a last name as well as a nickname. So for that nickname, what we're going to want to do is basically use the first character of the first name, add a hyphen, and then after, we're going to want to use the first three characters of the last name. That should create a pretty good nickname. In this, we are going to actually be using the left and upper functions to get there. And yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. So we'll first click on this box. And in this box, we will use the upper function. So here is upper. And with upper, we're actually going to add in left. Inside left, since we are going to want to be using that first box, so do A2, and as well as you can see, it says the text and number characters. We're just going to enter 1 because we only want the first character. We can close the parentheses of this. Next, what we're going to want to use is an ampersand so that we can continue. We are going to want to put a hyphen in quotations and close that off with an ampersand. Next, what we want is left. So we are now onto the last names box. So with left, we're going to be using B2, and we want 3 letters from B2. So we can close that off and then close the entire function off. Go ahead and hit enter, and this is what we get. S. Gill. So Sherilyn Gillis S. Gill will be the nickname. As you can see, it works for every single one, and that is a complete function. So next we can come over here to exercise 2. And in exercise 2, what we're going to want to be doing is doing the first, middle, and last name. We're going to want to break it off from this full name. Now this is when it gets a little more tricky. With this, we're going to want to basically use the left, mid, and right, as well as using the find function. Now I'm about to show you what the find function does, but find lets us locate the first number or letter in a string. So yeah, let's go ahead and get right into this. As for the first name, we can go ahead and start by doing equals, and we want the middle first, as that is the middle is the first name. We have the last name in the beginning, so we're going to be doing mid. And after, we want to do A2 because this is the location that we want, and we're going to enter in that find function. Now with find function, we're going to want to put the comma in parentheses because we want to first find the comma, and then after we're going to put another comma because we're going on to A2 as well. We want to find the comma inside of A2. Close that off, and what we're going to want to do is add 1 because we want to go 1 more forward. So with that, comma it off, use the find function again, and basically we're just going to look for spaces, place down a comma, click on A2 because that's where we're looking, and inside of that, what we're going to want to do is subtract that by find, and after that, we're going to want to put another comma inside. Comma that out, and then we want A2 one more time, close the parentheses, and then subtract by 1, close the parentheses. Go ahead and see how this turns out. Now we have Sherilyn. Can this go all the way down when we drag and drop? It looks like we're getting all of the first names. Now for the middle name, it's just a little easier. What we're going to want to do is write Sorry about that. And inside right, we want to use that cell, A2. Now what we want is length. And the length of A2, we want to basically find and find inside that space. One too many, right? We want to find that space inside of A2. You can go ahead and close that off, and then close the entire function off. Go ahead and hit enter, and look at that. We have the middle name. Perfect. It all worked out. Now for the last name, what we're going to want to use is the left function. So let's go ahead and type in left, and we want it from A2, below the text. And now what we want is to find the, in between the parentheses, the space, the comma, and then A2, close that off and subtract by 1, because we do not want the comma. All right, let's enter and see how that went. Like, we have Gillis as the first name, and it all worked out. Okay, great. We can go ahead and move on to exercise 3. Now, for exercise 3, what we're going to be using and learning is the trim and substitute functions. So in this, basically what trim does, it's going to trim off any unnecessary blank spaces. And with substitute, it will substitute any misinformation. So as you can see down here, we have the letter O and not the number 0. Inside this, we're going to want to start with the trim function. And inside trim, we're going to want to use the substitute function. So for substitute, it asks for a text, old text, and new text. So like we did before, hit A2 and put a comma. So now we're on to the old text. What we're looking for is O, so we want to put that in parentheses. And what we want to replace it with is a 0. So close that off, close the entire function off, hit enter, and let's go ahead and drag all the way down. What we want to see is that it replaces the O with the 0, and it looks like it did just that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and see you next time.